Boom shakalaka. We did it. As claimed earlier, this is part 2 of a live stream that we ended early because the software we're talking about Mercy Tears of the Fallen, this puppy right here.
The book that I have not read.
A book that Casey has not read. But he has read Shadows Upon Time by Christopher Rocchio.
I have.
Yeah,
I have done that.
I don't think. I wish. I kind of wish Jake's coming back. I don't know if he is.
He didn't get very much time up.
Yeah, he is a big Sun Eater fan as well. And I think he would be swooning over the fact that you read Shadows Upon Time.
This is where I stopped to finish reading your book.
Let me see. Hold on. Oh, okay, nice.
Right after a part that made me bawl my eyes out in the car. So,
Empire of Silence is definitely one of those. It's definitely one of those books that's I think suffers from the hype of the rest of the series. I think it's a very good book.
So I'm actually one of the people who, unfortunately, always talks about it and says like, Empire of Silence is the weakest book in the series. Full stop. Because it is.
Yeah.
But it also just feels so bad to say every single time.
Yeah.
Because in my experience, like it is the weakest, but it is so much stronger on rereads. In fact, I just went through my second reread of it I started in April, but I finished at the very end of May.
Okay.
May, yes. And that experience, after having read through Disquiet Gods, and that was literally the day before that Christopher sent me Shadows Upon Time, and then retroactively thinking about Empire of Silence so fresh after reading Shadows Upon Time, it was an insane thing. There are some chapters that are like so much better on the reread, but I guess you have to reread for that effect to happen.
I didn't really hear much of the hype, so I haven't really none of the hype has affected my reading. And
good.
The main opinion that I have heard is that Empire of Silence is the weakest or whatever. Now I have my issues with it. However, the writing is beautiful. The writing is so good, and the I lost what I was going to say.
No, go ahead. The writing is beautiful. The writing that keeps you hooked.
It's so good.
Mike is another person that received Shadows Upon Time, I think, and hasn't. He hasn't read it yet, though. But I also know that he hasn't read DQ yet. Yeah.
He's fake.
He's a busy man.
I mean, he's the one that's
whole family
Sun Eater, and
the Christopher Rocchio champion. Yeah, that's so funny. No, yeah, he's. I was gonna try and shoot the shit about football with him a little bit here, but thanks for even considering, Mike. It would have been cool to chat, but there'll be other times in the future, I'm sure. Because I wanted to get some fantasy football for BookTube up, but I don't think I'm good at organizing that. But yeah, no. So, that Christopher Rocchio's writing is it's unreal.
The best part is that the writing in the first couple books is noticeably weaker than the next few books, and then the writing in the last couple books is also notably stronger than anything before. It wasn't even until Kingdoms of Death and Ashes of Man books 4 and 5 when I was reading the series and was like, okay, this prose is like top of the line, and like it's good in the first two books. Obviously, a lot of people really like it, but it took until 4 and 5 when it really wowed me. So it just gets better.
And he wrote the first book when he was 19, right?
The first draft of the first book, I think, was like sold around the time when he was 18-ish, 18, 19. Mm-hmm. No, actually, that's a lie. Well, yeah, I think so, because it came out probably closer to when he was in his 20s. I forget the exact timeline of everything, but it's his first work, so.
Yeah, very young. I would say that, like, my only issues with it is that there are very clear things taken directly from Dune. It's not even like, oh, this is an inspiration. It's like, no, like the shields is like literally directly from Dune. And I think he even talks about it.
After you get out of the first act, after you get out of Delos, those Dunisms definitely drop off a little bit. It's
they drop off like
thing, but
even 30-ish% through the book. They start dropping off. It's just the way it starts. But part of me also goes, well, he was really young when he was writing the book. And if he's writing it and goes, I really like shields, I should have that in my story. And that's the thing I was going to say, is that if he took all those Dune-isms out, his story stands so well on its own. But, you know, he was a teenager when he wrote it. So did he have the confidence to believe that? I don't know, but it's great so far. Like, I'm loving it. I just have my little things about it that I'm like,
yeah, there are definitely those things about the first couple books that you'll pick out little things, but by the end of book 2, you'll know for sure if it's going to be a favorite or not.
Oh gosh, here we go. Hey Ben, what's going on?
Oh no,
that feels
controversial take of the stream.
That is a hot take. Yeah, no, Ben, I wonder if I think you got your tracking info. I hope so. For the hardcover, those things should have gone out, but yeah. Oh yeah, and thanks, Mike. I'm sure he's gone, but thank you for stopping by. Yeah, no, I can't get enough of Sun Eater, and that's why I actually, as we're sitting here speaking, I'm going to have to put Tales on my Kindle because I think I don't have it yet. Because it must be. All the covers. I mean, that cover art. The thing about cover art is interesting to me. I love this cover art. I also don't know it. Oh, I mean, this is pretty phenomenal. I love my favorite Sun Eater cover. Full stop. With the exception of Shadows of not like all the entire series as a whole. Tales 1. That's my absolute favorite.
Valid.
The current Tales 1 cover is my absolute
James
favorite.
Cook has such an eye for what makes the series pop. You know, there are things about some of his work that, you know, don't always sit with me, but he understands the spirit of it, not least because he's read some of the series as well. It just really works. It's like that's you know, the Diamond Edition art is kind of the same way.
Yeah, I'm so mad I missed that Diamond Edition. I want to own as many copies of those books as humanly possible, and I don't think I'm there.
Did you see the
close.
Daw Deluxe Edition?
Yeah, I was like, thanks. I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy it.
That?
Not yet.
So.
I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I will. I intend to. I have so many books on backlog on my pre-orders. I literally just haven't pressed the button. But yeah, that deluxe edition is going to be. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy. I imagine he's going to do that with the whole series. So, it's kind of cool that. I mean, it sucks and it's kind of cool at the same time that these publishers they know what they're doing and they're selling these deluxe editions because they know that people will buy them. What's going on? What is going on? I hope you got your ARC by now. I think I can't remember when I mailed it out, but I hope so. Yeah, Kingdoms is incredible.
They're all incredible, to be honest.
I'm gonna get that Murdered Son edition, but maybe was he talking about the deluxe edition or the Diamond edition?
No, it's because Ed Wright's Empire of Silence is going to go on sale here in a couple months.
Oh, here we go.
I think is tentative. Hey,
what is going on? The author of the Adan trilogy and newly released book, While Darkness Gathers, the sequel in the Adan universe.
Well, this is actually about Mercy, Tears of the Fallen.
Up to this point, it's been about Sun Eater, though.
It's been a little bit about Sun Eater, too, yeah.
Oh, that's it? Okay. All right, cool. I'm hoping to start Sun Eater later this year. So.
I'm really hopeful to hear your thoughts. I'll be
that's you and Tom and Noel. You guys all getting into Sun Eater has me very, very excited. But Philip, I have to absolutely thank you for taking the time to provide a cover blurb for me for Mercy. I do know people are reading it, the blurb specifically at the very least, and I don't know. It's incredibly kind of you to do that. Super grateful that you did.
It's my pleasure. Yeah, no, we had a great time chatting with you for Dear Dr. Fantasy and talking about the book. I'm excited for you. I'm really happy for you. A release is a very special thing, and your first release is especially special. So congratulations, Chance. This is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you missed John a little earlier. He was here hanging out for a bit. There's been like people in and out. It's like, again, it was very much a free-flowing conversation situation. But yeah, actually, do you have a favorite character? Because we went on this earlier. Do you have a favorite character from Mercy that maybe, I don't know if I asked this, but is there a favorite character that you have?
Well, I talked about my favorite moment, so to speak, when you were with me on Dear Dr. Fantasy, which I can't, it would be spoilery a little bit if I mentioned it, but it was probably that mentor figure that, you remember the moment I was talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
Who's my favorite character, though? I haven't actually thought about it, but I probably would go with Eravane. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we had
Team
3 votes for
Eravane.
Eravane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those
Nikhil said the same thing.
But
Nikhil, yeah.
shout out to. I mean, I like a grizzled veteran as well. So
It's a good Alavist.
Alavist is up there for sure. But yeah, no, I'll stick with my initial answer. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And do you? I don't know if I've heard that you speak about this in your books. Do you have a favorite character that you like writing, or
I like writing? Oh gosh.
Do you like writing, and then do you have a favorite character? Period.
You
that
mean
hopefully isn't the
from my own books? You mean, or
yes, from your own books?
Oh,
from your own books.
Okay. Now you're putting me on the spot here, Chance.
I have a favorite child. I'll say it. I have Hade. Hade is my favorite child. Easy.
Gasp.
Okay.
I said the unsayable.
Yeah, I said it.
You're not supposed to do that, but okay.
That's all right. I do it.
My favorite character to write, I don't know. I mean, there's just so many. Depending, I had a lot of fun writing Galdor. That was a character I really enjoyed writing.
Galdor's great.
Yeah, Galdor's.
Honestly, they're all great.
you meet him in The Prophet of Aden. But who do I? I don't know. I actually, from the new book, from While Darkness Gathers, I had a really good time writing Kel. You guys haven't met him yet, so
I was going to read the book a couple weeks ago, but I had some things happen, so it'll probably be over the coming fortnight that it'll actually happen by the end of the month, I think.
Cool. Yeah. And of course, Dayraven is special in so many ways, and Sequara. But there are certain characters that I don't know are kind of based on people I know and love. So Rial in the new book, Saren is a big one.
Saren is so good.
you meet Saren in Return to Aden.
A huge part of why that book is just the best.
I
read that number 2 of 2023. I don't know if you watched that video, but it was in the top 3 for sure.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I really appreciate that. It's probably Saren. I guess I would go with Saren because that was an example of where a character. I don't know if this happened to you, Chance. You tell me if it did.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a point in writing Return to Aden where this one character just sort of, I had not planned to do as much with this character. I'm a planner. I like to plan things, but sometimes you got to listen when the story speaks to you, or when a character says, no, you need to do more with me, and kind of grabs you by the shirt and
Yep.
You end up doing something you hadn't expected. And that's what Saren did for me. So do you have a character like that, Chance?
I do. I won't say on screen because the fate of this character is sort of up. I won't say up in the air, but it's relatively unknown.
Okay.
There is a scene we meet this character in book 1, and then as I worked through book 2, I realized the story that this character needs to have that's going to take place in the next book, and we're going to start to see a little bit more of this person. I just want to be as vague as possible, but yes, it has definitely happened. And then there's also been points where I've just been, and I think a lot of it is like, oh, like this happened. Like, why did this happen? And then it's putting together why it happened. And then in that discovery, I find other characters' involvement in the lives of maybe the others in ways that they hadn't known, which I thought was, I don't know, it's a very, very cool experience. Let me say hi to Omar real quick, who's also, I think he's local. I think he's another Jersey. I think he works in the city as well.
Fellow Jersey boy. Yeah.
Omar, I have no idea. I don't know if I don't think Amazon has updated yet. I don't. It's looking a little.
We checked like 15 minutes ago, and I don't think it had.
I don't think it's updated, but which
Amazon
is fine. I mean, if it is, it is.
It's a 2-book series, which is why I asked the question earlier, because it said Mercy book 1 of 2, and then Mercy Ills of Fate book 2 of 2. And I was like,
yeah. It only lists the ones that I put up there, so it's not gonna. I haven't announced the name of the third one yet, so I'm gonna keep that under the sleeve. I have a name, but to give myself some freedom working through the book and maybe discovering another one, I don't want to announce it just yet. Hate is pretty great too. Yeah. Love them. I gotta get my hands on those. Yep, you gotta get your hands on the Adan books. Omar, spoiler free, right. I feel like we've been pretty spoiler free.
Well, it's
right?
pretty easy.
My sister's here too,
one of the
in
guys
Jersey.
Here hasn't read it yet.
Yeah.
I'm a poser.
Yeah, or Vandal still. I will say
your guy.
Yeah,
He's your guy. Yeah.
still, yeah. It's there's
That's also fair.
Yeah.
So many good characters.
Yeah, absolutely, no questions asked. But yeah, no, I'm Philip. You taking the time to read the book really did mean the world. You have a whole book on. Book. You have a bunch of books. You have a whole video on independent publishing, which I constantly try to shout out because it is the most useful, I think, resource for independent authors out there to just get some more perspective and insight, and then also actionable strategy to utilize as soon as you enter the indie space, or if you desire to enter the indie space. So I urge people out there who are watching this either now or on replay to go to Philip's channel, look for that independently published video, because if it's a wealth of knowledge, wisdom, and experience kind of boiled into that video. It's incredible. So many things, so many tools that help me along the way. Things that you just don't know until you research, and then you fortunately did the groundwork and then were kind enough to show us the way.
I was also helped by people, very kind authors who had done it before me, and were like, just reach out and say, hey, I heard you're publishing. Would you like to, you want any advice? This is my experience. There's some incredibly kind. That's one of the great things about our community, is that we can lift each other up, and that is something that I really treasure. But I had a lot of people who helped me, and I talk about them in the acknowledgments of my books, and I was grateful for that. And I thought, well, if I can help anyone else by sharing my experience, then great. But yeah, I think we lift each other up, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Abel was on earlier, who I know is doing your Italian translation, I believe.
That's right. Abel is doing the Italian translation of The Way of Adan right now. Yep.
Yeah.
Very epic.
Very, very epic. And he was such a catalyst. And I told him, I was like, I really don't know if my book would have launched the same way without him. It definitely would not have. And his ability to just like lend a helping hand, which was so nice. And obviously I desire to pay it forward, but it was just so kind of him to take the time to do all that at just goodwill, like really, and paying it forward from the experiences that he's had with the people that have helped him. And yeah, I know it's because writing itself is it feels, you spend a lot of it in solitude, which is like, fine, nothing's wrong with that. But the experience of publishing is its own thing. And it's just so cool how many people have gone through it, and how much information is out there, and also how willing everybody is to share those experiences. So, and again, thank you so much. I love looking at this book and just seeing your quote on the bottom there. It's really freaking cool for me. I don't know. I got to send you one, but yeah, there it is at the bottom. But yeah,
sweet.
I don't know. Yeah. It's just so sick. Thank you so much for doing that.
Really. And we got to get together one of these days, Chance, because we're neighbors.
Well, I was actually thinking about this. There's a bunch of like independent bookstores, obviously, in the city, and I'm sure you have some in New Jersey. I wonder if we'd be able to organize sort of like a gathering of sorts at one of these joints, the both of us, and I think it'd be really cool. I think we'd get a bunch of, like, Omar over here has a whole book club, of people in the Northeast. I think, that love fantasy. And I feel like there's more, as always, but we can totally get together and do something. I think it'd be really cool. So maybe I'll hunt down a few relative to the locale inside of the city, if it'd be easy for you to get there. And then also, like, I am totally game to come to Jersey and do it as well, because it's a home state, so I do not mind making a trip over there. So if we find anything, we could put it together. I think it'd be really cool, really fun.
Yeah. All right.
Do we have any word on the Prophet of Adan Broken Binding edition? Is that
Yeah.
Speaking of Broken Binding, I have Way of Adan right there.
Yes, you do. Check that
out for the people who haven't seen that cover yet.
How about the sprayed edges? Show those puppies.
The sparkly gold. It's so slick, dude.
Renee Agner is the name of the artist who did the dust jacket and the color interior art.
He killed this work. Like it's.
I think he just did.
It's really good.
Job. Yeah.
In fact, I actually managed to hold off on buying it until Philip posted a video that was like the theme music or something.
Oh for
the book, and you included some of the artwork from it. I was like, okay, and then I went to Broken Binding. It was sold out, and then they had leftover copies, and I bought one of those.
Nice. I'm glad you were able to get one. Yeah, the Nikhil Kaparkar, our friend here on BookTube as well, and just brilliant Hollywood composer, did that piece for me, and I just was so pleased with what he did. And my daughter played the cello for that musical piece as well. So that's a very special thing for me too. And look who's here. Speaking of special friends.
Yes. Nerd level risen.
Yeah. Who else is here?
You. We did have Nikhil here earlier, Philip, and we were talking about music and writing and reading. I asked him like he had come up with I asked him about mine specifically, like Alavist. It stuck out to him, his arc, as something that he felt maybe relative. I don't want to. I'm putting words in his mouth by saying visceral, but it would be that sort of evoked some sort of thought for him, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Library systems. I'm not sure how that works, Omar, in terms of library exposure. I think they have access to put an order in. I could always give copies to public libraries as well, I think, and I'd be happy to for sure.
Yeah, you can always approach a library. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, and then also the book Prophet of Adan's audiobook by Alan. I think last
that is going to be any day now. So the engineer finished doing their tweaking, and then Alan had a few little spots to fix, and he's probably done with that. So it's really a matter of just getting the files any day now, and then we have to upload it to Audible, and that can, after Audible gets it takes who knows, but around 10 days or something. So really, I would guess within 2 weeks we should have the audiobook for the Prophet of Adan.
I'm so excited to hear that, because I have several friends who specifically waited until the first book's audiobook and were very, very happy with it.
Yeah.
So I'll be sure to let a couple of them know that second one is coming imminently. So
cool. Yeah. No, I'm just again
that right now.
Just another example of how this community is so awesome, and how we build each other up. I met my audiobook narrator on YouTube, and my editor as well, and just all kinds of great people that I've gotten to work with. And Nikhil, who did the music, and just tremendous.
That's probably got to be the coolest experience to have that original piece made for the Adan trilogy. I was blown away, and it's so good.
Yeah, and it's not something that I can see an immediate profit from, because you have to pay. Nikhil is a professional; you have to pay.
Yes, of course,
commission, that sort of thing, and you don't see an immediate profit from that sort of thing. But we do these things because we love our stories so much.
Oh yeah,
it's about the love of the story, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And it could be seen, I suppose, as a kind of effective form of advertising, because people hear that, look, Casey just said, hey, I saw that video with the music, and I thought, oh, I got to get that special edition.
I had to. The art's too good, man.
There it is. That's all it did.
Yeah.
Music is a good topic. I go to Spotify and select a fantasy playlist and listen to that when reading. Do you all have a particular artist or playlist you recommend that match your books to enhance the reading experience?
Yeah.
For me, I listen to a lot of like ambience on. There's like a Dream Clinic on YouTube. I actually sent Noelle like a bunch to listen to while she reads. When I'm drafting, I typically do like film scores, TV scores. When I'm editing, I go ambience usually, just because I like the consistent, like steady sound versus a song starting over or whatever. I like the steady flow. For some reason, I don't know why that is, but if I'm like sitting down for 4 hours, I want to have some steady. I don't want to think about what I'm listening to. I want to just like zone in, immerse myself, and and be there. I don't know about your experience, Philip, with
a wide variety. I tend to listen more when I'm editing than when I'm actually getting out the story. But when I'm editing, and it depends on what I'm editing. If it's like a battle scene or something, then I might listen to Two Steps from Hell or something like that.
yeah.
Or if it's something a little more hopefully tear-inducing, maybe I'll listen to Max Richter or maybe Hans Zimmer or something like that. But soundtracks are great, because they're designed specifically to evoke emotion. I think to get you in that right headspace, to write the right music can work really well. Philip Glass is another composer I like to listen to get the really moody stuff out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, lots of different stuff. Yeah.
If
How about you guys?
Really great soundtrack for listening to for that kind of thing. The recent video game that came out, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. That soundtrack, it's like 8 hours long, I think.
Wow.
But there's so much to it. It is so good. It's maybe the best OST I've ever heard. Some of the standout moments are just really good. If you want emotionally evocative, there are several songs that are really noted on there. So I would recommend checking that out. That was the one that changed my mind to listening to OSTs. I'm not a huge OST person, but that one's like chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Cool.
Elden Ring holds my heart there too a little bit, but I want to play Clair Obscur Expedition 33 as soon as I have time to play video games again. I think that's on the list of priorities for me.
This week I might be able to finally finish it. It's taken me way too long, but
it's a big game, isn't it? Noel, how about yourself when you're reading, with the exception of the ambiances I sent you? Is there anything in particular that you typically go towards when you're reading?
Yeah, there's a couple. So one of the things I really try to look for on YouTube now that I'm kind of aware of it is that there's a lot of AI ambiance stuff made on YouTube. So I try to look for stuff that is specifically made by a human being, that someone put a lot of work and heart into, and I try to look for that. I will say that when it comes to soundtracks from certain things, The Witcher games, these soundtracks from those are great. I actually, while I was reading Mercy today, because I just finished it, for anyone else who's watching who didn't see the first part of the other streams, I literally just finished it before I came on the stream.
Yeah.
And there was a scene that I was watching there that I was listening to Skyrim battle music because I've played Skyrim and I felt that intensity from that. And I was like, that's what I need right now. This is what I need to hear right now as I'm listening to this. And it really made me speed through the process. It's very enjoyable for me. Dune is another great one. I think for me, it's a little hard to listen to I don't know if it's just me. It's hard to listen to a soundtrack from a science fiction while I'm reading a fantasy. So if I'm listening to Dune, I'd probably read something like, Christopher Rucchio's books or something like that, where there's still sci-fi fantasy, but just more on the sci-fi notes. I do like the Skyrim soundtracks. Some of the Assassin's Creed soundtracks can be good too. So there's a couple. I would say that if someone has Lord of the Rings too, but Lord of the Rings has gotten too distracting for me because I know the next sound that's coming.
Yeah, the emotions that are immediately evoked.
Right, and it's like listening to music with words. It feels the same because I know exactly the beats that are going to come next because I've listened to it so many times. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, I need to focus on my book and not focus on the music because it is just so good.
Yeah.
So
Jake, you're up next, and then we're going to say hello to NA. What's going on? Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Sorry, my brain's getting pulled in like 4 different directions. We got you're asking like when
music
reading, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I actually don't listen to anything when I read.
I'll
have like a white noise video going because my girlfriend likes to have very loud Joe Rogan podcasts on in the morning.
in the middle of
and
really funny.
I'm trying to read whatever Janie Wirtz or Gene Wolfe or Rockio or something, and I just hear somebody on Rogan screaming about sugar or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, you relax.
What do you mean those vibes don't melt for you? Come on.
The podcast while reading would be wild.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, we have TV shows over here for me, so I got to throw headphones in. It's like The Summer I Turned Pretty is on, I guess, an Amazon show, and that's on TV, which is fine. So I'll just throw headphones in occasionally if I'm reading on the couch.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I mean, music and its experience. I feel like commuting in the city. I actually do want to take a second to talk about this because I like listening to audiobooks. Commuting in New York has been a whirlwind of. I am unable to listen to audiobooks while commuting because I just feel like my attention needs to be in so many places, and the amount of stimulus that I have, I can't focus. So I just avoid doing it altogether. We got Matt, Mr. Hobby Vomit, back in action here.
Back.
Well, Matt, we're talking about music and ambience while reading.
Nice.
Or do you have any particular songs or ambience that you like listening to? Jake likes listening to podcasts while he reads. He hates Will of the Many and he likes listening to podcasts. Everybody else has normal taste. So run us through what your experience is.
I'm mostly like a lo-fi beats kind of guy. If I put on a soundtrack I know, I get distracted.
Okay. Echoing what Noel said about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's just lo-fi beats usually, or nothing if I'm feeling spicy. Dead silence.
Yeah. Now, Matt, you have some strong opinions about the Lord of the Rings cinematic universe that I think most of us would riot about. So go ahead and share that so we can get some hate clicks on this video.
Yeah. Well, let me start with the positive. I think Fellowship is one of my favorite movies from my childhood. It's very nostalgic. I could watch Fellowship any day. And then Two Towers is good. I really like Two Towers as well. And then Return of the King, it's not for me, except for the tomato scene. That's better than all the three movies together. When that juice squirts, oh yeah,
It's just
pure cinema.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you have that's a strong take.
A quick aside. I don't know what the show is. There's like I don't know if it's Canadian or British or something. There's some game show, whatever. And I saw a clip as this guy, I think he's a DM for D&D or something, but he was doing a Trump impersonation as Sauron.
Oh no!
And so I'll have to see if I can find the clip. I'll see if I can send it to somebody. But he had this whole thing where he was talking about what's the king's name? Is it Threnodor? Is that right? It's not right. The king.
You mean Steward? Denethor.
Denethor?
Yeah.
I was close. But he had this whole thing about how he was calling him, what did he call him? Tomato Man or something. Anyway, it was hilarious, but yeah.
That is so funny. Here we
Chance,
go.
I'm afraid I have to run, but
no, thank you so much for stopping in. Super grateful.
A pleasure. Once again, congratulations, man. It's a significant achievement to write a book, and I'm really happy for you, and I hope it continues to go great. It seems like it's going really well so far.
Yeah, and again, Philip, your experiences and your sharing has greatly helped, and then thank you again so much for providing that cover blurb. That was a big deal.
Oh, my pleasure, man. All right, you guys have fun.
Nice to meet you.
Yep.
Okay, so strong opinions on Return of the King, which is absolutely wild. I feel like the more I watch that one, the more I like it.
Maybe I just need to watch it. I've only seen it, I think, twice.
Then that's
definitely gotta watch it again.
That's probably your problem. You got to just keep watching it until you like it.
Yeah.
Only Return of the King on repeat for the next 7 days.
Yeah. Eyelids like held open.
Yes.
So Jake, KC, King Crusoe here. I don't know if you know this. Do you know what I'm about to say?
I know what he's about to say.
Okay, Jake, he has read Shadows Upon Time.
Oh yeah, okay. Sam, give me. You're a advanced reader, right?
Yes. In this case, I just got early access to it.
I don't want to hear a single thing. I don't want. I don't even care.
I had John from Talking Stories said the same thing earlier.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't want to hear a word.
I want.
And I was like, okay, I won't say a word.
And then 10 minutes went by, and he's like, I can't take it anymore. Tell me something.
I will say, I'm not trying to like cut you off from talking though. I think that's super cool. Congratulations, and you seem like a really cool dude, and it's nice to meet you. But I don't want anything spoiling my.
I won't say anything. I won't say anything to you.
Yeah,
You'll experience
it sounds
it
like
for
you've
yourself.
been burned in the past war, Jake.
Yeah,
he's trying to go as blind as possible.
Everyone told me Will of the Many was the best book ever, and
and now you hate it. You think it's the worst book ever.
Well, what podcasts did you listen to while you were reading?
Oh,
Well,
nothing.
that might affect
That may have affected
it.
Was it Rhonda? Was it Dr. Rhonda Patrick? Was that while you were?
Oh, I don't even. It's bro. My girlfriend is a very big fan of comedy podcasts, which I am too. But like, not when I'm trying to read something serious.
Yeah, of course.
So
yeah,
I get a lot of. I'm in the middle of a book, and I get a lot of Joe Rogan. I get a lot of
Theo Vaughn.
Shane Gillis and Matt McCusker.
Oh yeah,
I get a lot of. Who else? What's the other dude?
Theo Vaughn is a big one.
Theo's a good one. She hasn't listened to Theo in a minute, but he's the man.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's a ton. There's a ton of comedy podcasts.
Yeah. There's some. I'm trying to remember what it was. There was some smaller one she was listening to, but I can't remember who he was.
Yeah, I don't know. Comedian seems like podcasting sort of like a natural. You just like talk into a mic and say things that might be funny.
You're doing it right now.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
You're there.
This is a podcast. It's a Bad Friends. That's the one with.
That's a good,
that is a good one. Yeah, they are funny. Yeah. All right. So, nothing about Shadows Upon Time. Got it. We won't say anything. I think I stopped.
Circle back around to the listening to music while reading thing.
Yeah, go ahead
for just a moment, because I feel like I'm kind of the opposite of a couple of you guys here, where if you know the music too much, that it becomes distracting. The ironic thing for me is that the more that I know the music, the less distracting it is, because I can easily tune that out. It's an organized chaos that my brain can just disappear into. So I don't actually listen to music while I'm reading, but while I'm writing or working on my own stuff, whatever, or especially while I'm copy editing, I will listen to what some people would think is crazy. It's instrumental, like progressive metal. So it's like relatively heavy stuff, but it's all the music that I've been listening to on repeat for the last like 5 years. So I'm so familiar with it that I can tune it out. So it's kind of one of those funny things. I just found it interesting because a couple of you guys said, if I know it already, it's distracting. And I'm like, that's less distracting for me. But yeah, that was just something I wanted to throw in there.
Yeah, I like the idea of creating like my own original scene to something that I love, and I know that it has like a sort of, I don't know, there's something about that that I thoroughly enjoy. I don't know, Jake, you're also working on I know you've been busy, but as far as like your writing project, is it a short story? I think we were talking about doing a small or relatively small anthology with booktubers.
Yeah, that'd be
cool. Yeah, we've sort of. I'm going to keep trying to like throw a reminder out there because I honestly haven't started working on the story either. But I know you have. I know you have started working on it. Has there been any ground there?
It's been extremely few and far between. I had such high hopes for this summer. I was like, man, it's just we got so much more time than I'm used to having. And then all of a sudden, there's a 3-week road trip in the middle, and you get extra. There's something about a full-time job and a PhD that keeps you busy, and then you got to do BookTube, and it's just all this stuff. But
they'll do it.
Trying to squeeze little bits in where I can. It's been probably at least a month since I've touched anything, but I think at the time I was like very close to finishing a first draft of a short story, which I know is like nothing, is very little work, but something, I guess.
It is.
But, I was also like 10,000 words into like a novel before. I was like, oh, let me try this thing. And so I don't know. I've been all over the place, very inconsistent, but it is something that's on the list that I want to do. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense if you're working on a PhD to probably prioritize that.
Probably prioritize that, yeah.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
I relate to those struggles. It's been a handful of months since I was writing one novelette that I had started working on as like a palate cleanser thing for my bigger thing, and that bigger thing, I think it's probably been like 11 months since I've touched that. It has been chaotic. So
yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
It's always a struggle, right? And then Chance is out here just pumping out nonsense all of the time.
Nonsense. Yeah, I mean, it is.
I have to be the naysayers.
No, it's okay. It can't. It might be nonsense. Yeah, I mean, it might definitely be nonsense. So Noel, I know we talked a little bit about your initial reactions to finishing Mercy, so I do want to jump back into that a little bit. Upon maybe more reflection as we've been having these conversations, you talked about Eravane being your favorite character and the topics that he deals with. Are there? I would ask for theories, but I think that might give some stuff away. So maybe that we'll save that for another conversation. But I know you said earlier you had a thought pop in your head. I don't know if you remember that, and I don't know if you can share what that thought was relative to a conversation we were talking about favorite characters. I probably should have asked then, but
yeah, it sounds very vague asking it now.
But instead, I'm like, I'm asking now.
Well, I did want to comment off of something Jake said, and that he said, "Oh, I was finishing a draft of a short story, but it's not a lot of work. If you care about something, it will be a lot of work because you care.
Fair.
So don't talk down on yourself. You know, you're putting work into the things that you love and you're passionate about. That's always going to be work.
Yeah,
it's always going to be an accomplishment to finish anything like that. To even start it is an accomplishment. So."
Yeah, it is work for sure.
On the topic,
I can't.
Mercy,
I do remember. Actually, one of the
Go ahead.
things.
Here we go.
Well, okay, so I was thinking about favorite characters, and obviously Alavist also pops in my head. I like him, but I wouldn't call him like a favorite character necessarily at the moment.
Okay.
But as I'm reading about Hayden Nira, I actually really love Nira. That I think about how she's kind of like that rock. She is the level-headed of them,
Yeah.
and I really do like her.
Okay.
So for female character, she's probably my favorite female character.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad you said that. What's going on, Ryan? Author of 2 sci-fi books himself. He's in the house, but yeah, Noel, that's good news. That's good news. I
like Viala.
Viala. Yeah.
Viala. Okay. I like her a lot too.
Yeah. I think I have a few more female POVs, or maybe at least 2 more that I add into book 2. Just as I got more kind of grounded, trying to see through the eyes of Viala, I felt a little bit more comfortable going into more of that in book 2.
Yeah.
So you'll see a little bit, some variety. Oh, you are? Oh, my bad, dude. Hold on.
I don't see him.
Oh,
Skeff, I don't see you, bud.
Does he have a...
Did you send him the updated link?
Let me, Skeff, I put another link. Oh, maybe I didn't. Hold on. Let me put another link in. You're in a different waiting room. My bad.
While you're doing that, on the topic of Mercy, I did want to actually circle back to something that I wanted to last stream when Noel said something about the characters. What was it that you said about the characters not being able to tell all of the time what side they're on or where exactly their motivations are coming from or something like that? That was something that hooked onto me as someone who hasn't read it yet, as like, I want to read it now because of that, because there are a lot of my favorite books, at least as far as like interpersonal character stuff is concerned, are the ones where you can't always tell who's good or who's bad, or where you look from multiple perspectives and you think everybody is good because they're the protagonist of their POV, but even some of them are bad people. That was part of why I loved The Failures. So like, I'm excited for Mercy because of that comment that Noel made in the last stream.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure that there was a lot of nuance to the, I feel like it's not so much even moral ambiguity or gray morality. It's also just like a lack of clarity on what side is what. I wanted to try and blur the lines because obviously every side in every scenario is going to think that they're the good guys. And I wanted to try and convey that about as much as I possibly could.
And that's
not that.
That's why I appreciate avoiding the term morally gray characters. As much as I understand why people like morally gray characters and like using that term to describe people who are like in the middle, it's also a very generic term at this point. Like, what does that actually mean? People use morally gray to describe straight up terrible people, and will also use it to describe straight up really good people. They don't understand that having conflicted emotions doesn't make a person morally gray or whatever. So in this case, it's more not morally gray, but rather that person legitimately believes that they are doing the right thing, even if that right thing to them might be bad from a different perspective. And that's a more interesting dynamic than just saying, oh, morally gray characters who do sketchy things sometimes, you know?
Yeah. I definitely I don't think I would call anyone in Chance's books morally gray. I don't.
Yeah.
I think as you read, you figure out more and you kind of have a forced perspective of looking at certain situations. The way the POVs are structured makes you really think. And I really like that because it makes you think, am I right on who is right and who is wrong? Or, and you continue to create more things from there. Point of view, and you kind of get the trickling in information.
Wait, am I losing her? Am I the only one losing?
You're going underwater.
You're going underwater
no.
a little bit. Just for a sec. I feel like you were saying something profound.
Oh.
And then we put you in a fishbowl.
But no, it is something that has me excited to read the book because I do think there's a difference between a morally gray character and this example that you guys are talking about. Because morally gray people are ones who will do bad things knowing they're doing bad things.
Yeah.
Whatever their motivation or justification for it is. A non-morally gray character legitimately believes they're doing the right thing, even if that's terrible.
Yes. So, yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was going for.
I should make a video about that topic.
You should.
I've had an idea. I'm going to make a note for myself.
Yeah. And as we'll take a little side from that for now to say hello to Mr. Ryan Skeffington himself, headband number 2. Is that the same color headband too?
It is. I had a different color headband on, so I changed so I could be number 2.
Nice.
We're celebrating you today.
Right. Naturally. You are also an author, so I would actually like to hear your input. We were talking earlier about music while writing. Also, maybe while reading, you can share kind of your experiences with that. And then also your favorite character from this book. You haven't read Mercy, Tears of the Fallen. I would, no I'm kidding. But go ahead. Yeah. Share with us your experience with writing maybe, and what you like to listen to when you're working.
Absolutely. My writing journey started with Audacity because I was not a reader before I started writing. I hadn't read a fictional novel in about 8 years before I wrote my first book. It was all nonfiction and leadership and business development, all that boring stuff you get right out of college when you're 24 and you're trying to conquer the business world.
Yeah.
And so all of my media was movies, music, anime, anything that wasn't words on paper. And so while writing my first novel, there were 2 music albums that were really inspirational to the story. The first one right here is Deep Blue by Parkway Drive. And that album actually tells a story of an individual finding out the truth about their world, figuring out where they exist in their world and what they're going to do about it once they've found this newfound information. And it leaves it open-ended on what actually happened to this character. I'm like, wow. What a great plot. And so that is the character arc of one of the main characters in Lost Souls. And so the songs are the chapter titles for each chapter. I take a small snippet of lyrics from the song and make that the
epigraph.
What's the phrase? Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that. The epigraph. And so the epigraph tells a story of what the main character is going to go through from the lyrics of the song. And really inspired by that. And then the second one was a band, Dayseeker. They have a few songs and albums that are
Return the Black Knight.
You like good music.
Skip just got some big fans.
They are all the way up there. You can't. They're off screen, but I've got a couple signed vinyls from those guys. Got to meet them and take a picture. I think their concert is my LinkedIn profile photo. So shout out to Dayseeker. So music was a huge inspiration for like the emotion of writing. And then while I was actually writing, getting me into those emotions. And then I do everything instrumental, non-vocal when I'm actually doing the writing so that I don't kind of creep in their words into my sentences.
Very cool. Honestly, I'm so happy I asked you that question. I knew that music played a role in your life just based on following you, but the level at which it played, I'm so happy I asked that question because that's cool. That's dope.
Yeah, I know the stream is about Mercy, but I literally just went and picked up Lost Souls.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm like,
I appreciate
yes,
it.
this is great. Like,
I have a very
not
important,
even one of my favorites, but like, epic.
I have a very important question for Ryan.
Yep.
What song on Dark Sun makes you cry the hardest?
Oh gosh, it's got to be Afterglow, because it's about the lead singer's daughter, and so the whole song is about being away from home, being away from his daughter, how much he misses her. But Also, on the flip side of that same coin, I cry the most to Neon Grave, because Neon Grave is about the loss of the lead singer's father. Um, my dad passed away 1 year before this album came out, and so there was a lot of emotional connection to this song, and I probably played that on 1,000 times repeat while getting into the emotion of like the midpoint of Lost Souls, because it is about what does it feel like to experience loss for the very first time.
Yeah, and I mean, can we just actually, for people who aren't looking at it, I can't pull it up. Can we just talk about how dope the covers of your books are?
Yeah, I just went to look at it.
They're
I
pretty
just
cool.
went to look at it. It's
Those
great.
are absolutely sick. And honestly, Ryan, we haven't really chatted much. But there's a lot that we in that sense of loss, because obviously my father, I lost him as well. We share a lot there, and that's I think it's a really I don't know. It's an interesting. It's always grief is always such an interesting thing, and how it shows up differently in people's work, and or sometimes similarly. I think it's always a very interesting thought experiment, and I imagine you experience a lot of catharsis also with your writing. What were some other outside of music? What were some other inspirations for the Infinite Existence series?
Video games were a huge one. But before I dive into that, I'll pause and say, great to meet everybody. I think this might be my first time chatting with everyone live, not on a comment section or in a Discord. Howdy. Halo and StarCraft were the two video games that were most prominently featured in this novel, and then I guess the universe. So Lost Souls exists on a ring world, 100 years in the future in a far-off space system. So it's like after Earth, but not in the same solar system. The weapon on the front is a gravity hammer knockoff, essentially. Just because I love kinetic weapons, I love big booming sound effects. And then StarCraft, I was this close from being a professional StarCraft player. I was on Texas A&M's collegiate team, and then my GPA.
I'm in College Station.
Like, hey, I need to
This
go
guy
back.
is the coolest
school.
one amongst us. What are we doing here? Like,
Everyone's
this
got
is
a
his show
flex
now.
that they've
That's insane.
showcased on your stream.
Everyone who
This is
I've
the
found
flexing
is
stream.
like nerdy, has like the coolest backstory ever. We've just haven't been able to talk about it for the last 30 years because we got made fun of for it. Now we're finally celebrating it.
Welcome
Yeah,
to
yeah.
nerdism.
That is so sick. Wow. Okay, so don't play StarCraft against you. Haven't played StarCraft really at all, so I don't think I'd be. You know what I did play though? I did play Heroes of the Storm, and we did have a lot of StarCraft characters inside of Heroes of the Storm, and I loved Heroes of the Storm. I was only a diamond ranked in. I was never like got it to master or grandmaster. I was never that good, but
I think the moment I hung up the cape and the keyboard was when someone told me the amount of time and skill level it takes to go from bronze to masters, which is the worst role or the worst rank in the game, to one person outside of the top 200, that 3 years, it's going to take you that same amount of time to go pro. And I'm like, wow. I can't do that.
That's crazy.
So I got a job.
Crazy. But really quickly, another topic this is from Omar. He's a big comic book fan. He wonders about graphic novel adaptations of books, and I think I spoke with about this to him during my book signing. So, Skeff, go ahead, take it away. Let's talk a little bit more about your series.
So I'm not the biggest comic book or graphic novel fan, but I do love Superman as a character and everything that he stands for. I think when we talk about morally gray characters, just kind of cut the tail end of that one. It doesn't really apply to Superman, but for a morally gray person who wants to potentially do something that's self-serving or what we would call bad, and doing the right thing regardless of what you internally want to do, that's morally gray to me. Despite the faults and flaws of humans, choosing to do the right thing is something that I think Superman is the lead moral force for, and something that people can strive to live up to. So big fan of him.
Okay, there we go. Heck yeah.
I have a question real quick. Did you ever reach out to Parkway Drive and just did you hear back or?
So I met Winston McCall after a concert and asked him or told him about the novel, and was like, "Hey, can I get your blessing to use the cover titles as chapter titles?" And he, after the concert, goes on vocal silence. So he doesn't speak after his concerts to let his vocal cords recover. For anyone who doesn't know, he does a lot of unclean vocals, a lot of screaming. So it's very harsh on the vocal cords. But just the amazement in his eyes. And he gave me a head bang or a head nod of yes, I think that's a pretty cool idea. Or at least that's what I took it as. If Hardcore Tribe's legal team is listening to this, he gave me consent.
How dare you?
Yeah, there's no way to fight this in the court of law. I do have a photo with him, so I can prove that we did talk, or at least I spoke. And then I reached out to Epitaph Records, and I said, "Hey, I want to do this thing." And they're like, we don't actually own the rights to the written word or the lyrics or the songs. You got to reach out to this company." And I emailed them and never heard back. So I was like, well, I'm going to ask for forgiveness if this ever sells more than 10 copies. So
if they sue you, they can... You can rebut and be like, "Hey, I have receipts here." So
yeah.
Let's take it to the jury of metalheads and see what they choose.
There you go.
But since I know that you like that kind of realm of music, and especially the way that it kind of like connects on that emotional level, I do have one album that I want to recommend specifically. That's called "In Moment, in Memory." There's two slashes in between "In Moment, in Memory" by the band Our Hollow, Our Home. That was one that I discovered back in 2018, and that is a concept record about the main writer, Tobias, losing his father to cancer before he had a chance to return from tour to say goodbye. So
I'll check it out.
Very emotionally charged album, but it's one of my favorites of all time. So
Touche Amore has a similar one.
Okay. I'll send you the invoices for the tissues.
Also, Matt, Jake, and Ryan all have similar sounding voices, or am I crazy?
I don't sound near as sexy as Ryan or Jake.
They got
it. They got it.
Pay you to keep talking.
Who just said that?
Yeah.
Who said that?
I'm not quite sure what you're getting at there, Chance.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. All right, heck yeah, dude. I actually am so stoked you came in. The only thing we're missing right now is Preacher Reads to get in on this conversation for more.
The one who's in an actual band.
Yeah. I know we did that video with and when I say we, I meant I know Jake and I were on Four Corners of the Pages video talking about music, like favorite albums. I obviously chose like a country album because Eric Church I think is one of my favorites, but I also did mention Sleep Token, which Jake, I think, highlighted as his favorite album, specifically, even in Arcadia, their most recent album.
Right now, at least. I can't pick one
right now
my favorite, but at least
at
the time of recording that was the one I had on repeat for sure.
Yeah. I actually like their method as well of storytelling. I think it's a super cool thing to tie into music. I've contemplated back and forth buying their graphic novels. Like that collection. I think it's one graphic novel because I just actually want to get to know more. And I have watched like one or two lore videos on their stuff, which gives me that Elden Ring vibe. It gives me some of that energy.
I've actually refused to go into the lore of their first three albums because Take Me Back to Eden was an album that all of the singles were dropping and I just wasn't into it. I couldn't take Sleep Token, but I listened to the album like 3 days after it dropped and the last couple songs converted me. And then the whole thing became my favorite album in 2023. Even in Arcadia is currently my favorite of 2025 alongside Whitechapel. But those two records, even in Arcadia, is the one that strikes me as like the most lore forward to a degree that I'm starting to understand it. The first trilogy, I'm just like, I don't want to touch that right now. I just like the songs. I don't want to touch the lore because it seems too much at the moment.
Yeah, Jaden Waz, thank you so much for picking it up on Kindle. Glad you're giving it a shot. Oh yeah, I guess okay. We're both reading Reaper's Gale right now. Yeah, I'm about almost midway. I didn't pick it up. I was at a concert with it was like Kings of Leon, Zach Bryan yesterday with a bunch of friends. Got home at 2 a.m, slept only until like 8 or 9, which sucked. But here we are. You know, I don't go to concerts often, so I love music. I just don't go to concerts often. It's
I
not
don't
something
really
I
go to
usually do.
concerts either.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't know.
An Orbit Culture concert I went to last summer was the first one I'd been to since like 2019. So
Oh, there you go.
I've only been to 3 total.
Yeah. I think mine's like less than a handful, I think.
But of course, it's hard when I live, a few hours away from the nearest main venue, and even sometimes people don't go there. And also, to get there during like 6 months of the year, wintertime is very hit or miss because the interstate's always closed. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, we got while Noel's face is covered by this logo.
I love it. It's so funny.
we have a green T-shirt wearing Pink Star.
The Mucks.
Yeah, ADHD reader. Yeah. Sleep Token was definitely one of those interesting bands when I first heard them. I was like, I don't know what to think. Like, what genre am I listening to?
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, literally. Like, and I was like, this is cool.
See,
I like this.
The problem with Sleep Token is too many people like to talk about them like, oh, they're not new per se, but like they're, a rising star in the metal scene. But I think that's the wrong way to describe them, because now you have a bunch of people who are pretty firmly metalheads who listen to just any old Sleep Token song, and like maybe 10% of the song is metal, if that. Some of them are just straight up pop songs, and so they're like very put off by that. And then you also have people who don't like any metal. You don't mention that they have any metal influence in there because they're more progressive and have everything smashed in there, and they go with the flow, and it makes people who don't really like metal enjoy certain aspects of metal a little bit. But calling them a metal band is the wrong way to put it. So metalheads who were just like, oh yeah, metal, Sleep Token, is like, I'm not going to say they're not, because like Vor and Gods are straight metal songs. However, you have to say that they're just a progressive band with every genre influence under the sun. Like Aqua Regia is like jazz,
Yeah.
So it's like, or has heavy jazz influence. So it's one of those confusing things. Just don't think of them as metal, and think of them as influenced by literally everything. And you might be able to accept it a little bit more readily. It took me a long time. Like I said, I did not like Take Me Back to Eden until the last song.
For somebody that's never listened to Sleep Token, is there a single record y'all would recommend get jumping in place? I'm more with you, Noel. I'm a post-hardcore
Jumping in
fan.
place, I would say Take Me Back to Eden is probably the best one. And that's not just because that's where I started, but it's because it's the journey. And
okay.
If you're in for the journey, that's good. Even in Arcadia is just a little bit more out there, even for their sound. It's still clearly them, but it's a little bit more out there in a way that might put off new people more. That's my take anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I do really like even in Arcadia though. I don't know. I feel like I tried
even
listening to them.
Arcadia has more sing-along choruses in it. It's the one I play more often in the car because it's just fun to sing.
Yeah, I tried listening to them while writing during some phases of my journey, and it worked in terms of like I was able to do it, and then it just got to a point where I'm like, the lyrics in a song and writing, I think, are a hard combo for me to overcome. I know there are people who can do that, which is it's like, what's an equivalent to that outside of music and writing? I don't know. It's like, it feels like rubbing your head and patting your stomach sort of situation.
I have you can until you overthink it.
Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
Dude, I like if we're watching TV and someone tries to talk to me at the same time, I cannot do it. You got to pause the TV or not talk. Those are your choices, right? Like I can't. They get crossed, and I get half of each, and it just doesn't make any sense. And it's gotten worse the older I'm getting, so I don't know what's happening. But
we have they aren't like Agarth or Cannibal Corpse. Saw those guys last year.
They have a lot more pop than that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Just a little bit more pop than that.
Skeff, I'm super happy you came on and shared that all that. I actually had no idea about your influences related to this series. And yeah, your stuff has been on my radar for actually before I think really started hitting the scene. Like I had seen your covers and I was like, oh man, these look really dope.
Thank
and
you. I appreciate that.
For whatever reason or another, I think I marked them in my save for later, and I just haven't bought them yet. But they're going to come now. So there's no doubt about that.
It's really tough when your cover's better than your book.
Give yourself
that's
some
the way
credit.
you make the money, man. You get them to buy it, and then you don't have any obligations after that.
I was at a happy hour and I told someone I wrote a book and they're like, "Is it awesome?" And I'm like, "It's good." The second one is much better because I learned how to write a book. So get to the second one. It's like Red Rising. The first one's okay, and the second one's fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, the first Red Rising book I wasn't in love with, but I do indeed have enjoyed the series as I progressed through it. Iron Gold, I think I felt the same way that I did about Red Rising, but I feel like Dark Age and Lightbringer are going to be much better.
I'm getting a lot of comps to Red Rising in my reviews, which is great because Red Rising is going through like a renaissance on TikTok and whatnot. So I just gotta finish the trilogy. I already have a written prequel novella that's going through the editing phase right now. That'll be out early 2026. Then hopefully I'll release the third book in 2027, and then just ship out special editions.
Heck yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, do it.
immediately.
But I
There we
think
go.
probably the Red Rising comparisons are at this point because Red Rising is the space opera right now.
Yeah.
Aside from Sun Eater, but those
I'm
two
not as
series get
smart
compared
as
to each
Christopher
other a lot,
Rocchio,
and they're
so
not even very close to each other at all. So it's probably just one of those, oh, this is sci-fi. What other thing have I read that's sci-fi? Red Rising is the one that everybody's read recently, so that's what they go to. Same thing with
Yeah.
Sun Eater. That's what people would say about Sun Eater, actually. They would be like, oh, it's really good, like Red Rising, and everybody's just like, Red Rising fans, read it. It's like, it's not that fast at all. If you're expecting Red Rising pacing from Sun Eater, that's a mistake. So it's just people making comparisons to what they're familiar to.
They're totally different in that facet. I mean, and also you get the comparisons because of the first person POV.
Yeah.
The single character. I feel like there are things in the early books of Red Rising that Pierce Brown, like I think the side characters are a little bit more fleshed out in the early books of Red Rising, but also, I mean, the two stories are just, I think they're so different. Just generally.
They're both space Rome, so that's why people say they're the same.
Yeah, they're just so different.
The
I don't
vibes
know.
are really different for sure. Like I started reading Red Rising before Empire of Silence, and I actually like DNF for now Red Rising, like on chapter 12, I think.
BFN. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Yeah, basically, because I was like, oh, this is okay, but some of the stuff that was happening, I was like, well, I saw that coming. Like a couple pages ago or something like that. Like nothing was surprising, and I don't know if it was meant to be that way, but it also wasn't emotional because he didn't spend enough time on some things. So, but I don't know. And then I went into Empire of Silence and I was like, whoa, the writing is really good. I'm gonna stick with this for now. So
yeah, I think the framing narrative also plays to the benefit of Empire of Silence, in that it's unique. And it feels unique.
Spoils the end of the series in the very first chapter, but you
Yeah.
still have no idea what's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, he likes to do that. He likes to spoil something and then tell you how it plays out. And
That's why
then
rereading is so fun, is because everything that he spoiled the first time that went right over your head and that you forgot about suddenly makes sense, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I have a hard time calling Red Rising and Sun Eater sci-fi. For some reason, they don't really seem to apply. I have the same issue with Star Wars. I think that's why fantasy lovers are into them.
This is
I
why
like-
Christopher doesn't actually like using genre the way that everybody else does. He doesn't believe in the modern facet of genre, and that's why he calls it science fantasy, is because there's a sci-fi set dressing, but it's definitely written and executed more in the vein of your typical epic fantasy series. And I assume that Red Rising is sort of like that, where it's not sci-fi the way that classic sci-fi is, you know?
Yeah.
Written more
Let me-
approachable to a modern audience.
Then we have Andrew's Wizardly Reads in the house. The
Oh,
DNF king himself. I think he liked Will of the Many more than Jake. No, actually, I don't know. I don't know. That's true. But yeah, I when I sent him a book, I was like, if you DNF this, just make it the best DNF ever. Like get one page in and just put it down. But yeah,
Is there any like hard? I haven't read Sun Eater yet, and I've only read the first Red Rising. Is there any like I think what's turned me off from sci-fi so far is just like the hard science textbook
That's the great
nature
thing
of it.
about Sun Eater, in my opinion, is this is part of why it fits more in a fantasy mold. It doesn't focus a whole lot on the science fiction stuff.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
when it does, it's from a relatively disconnected vantage. It's first person from Hadrian's POV. And he's writing, he's like, I don't understand how any of this shit works. So he gives a approximation, and maybe that's more accurate at times than other. And maybe sometimes he doesn't know at all. So he'll just straight up just kind of gloss over some things because he as a character doesn't understand it. And then Christopher doesn't have to deal with math because he hates math.
Yeah,
I like to hear it. I like to hear that.
I'm on the
Yeah.
opposite side of that take.
Oh yeah.
I love the term space fantasy because it lets you get away with not being like hard sci-fi,
Right.
but I love putting reality into my novels. So in my magic system, it's a chemical reaction that alters the human body. So I have the chemical reaction for respiration with my new made up substance. And so it's only there for like 3 or 4 paragraphs across that chapter that he's going through and discovering how the magic system works. But I think when you go and show somebody, hey, this is the chemical equation for respiration and it's chemically balanced with this new thing, you say, hey, if this was real, this could happen in our world. But it's a work of fiction. So just a small piece of grounding. You do, Andrew. And I want to shout out that I almost got a tattoo of Andrew's face on my back because he finished my book and it was the greatest day of my life. He didn't DNF it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's big.
Actually,
That
that
is
was
Hey, if I
another
read your
thing.
book like right now, do you get a tattoo of my I'm kidding. My ugly mug on your back.
Thank you. Yes, I will do that. Go ahead,
That's so
Noelle.
funny.
Oh, yeah, another thing about Chance's book that I was thinking about was the magic system. I really like the magic system, and I'm still so confused, but I like that. I like that I don't know what all the magic system is capable of. Because there's times where something is, I can't even describe it because I don't want to spoil anything, but I was reading it and I'm like, wait, it does that too? And it does this and it does that? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But I liked that. I like that.
Yeah.
I think
I
you
share a
understand
lot.
enough to know what's going on. I never felt like lost as far as it was just like oh cool, yeah, I can do that too.
Right,
But
exactly.
like yeah,
Well,
I
in
was
the
okay
very
with suspending my
beginning, I was
belief.
confused.
Yeah.
But I was suspending belief and
If
kind of
yeah,
just going with the flow. I think
Mhm.
is how I felt going in the beginning of the book. It's like, oh, there's a lot of stuff. I'll just go with it.
Yep.
And I'll figure it out as I go because I know that's how it's gonna work.
yeah, I actually share a lot of the thought process of Christopher here, and I don't want to misattribute his thoughts, but when it comes to hard magic and soft magic, I'm just like, it doesn't like who like I don't want to explain. At a certain point, it just becomes science, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted there to be ambiguity. I wanted there to be like that air of mystery lends itself to higher levels of tension, I think, and and everyone I think uses these tools. Every writer uses these tools differently. I'm using them in a way that I want to flip some things on their head. And as you get deeper into book 2, Matt, and actually Noelle, once you start it, you'll start to see that sort of come to fruition in a lot of ways. Simply again, because as much as I can enjoy reading hard magic, I don't prefer it. I don't like some things. I'm just like, okay, that's cool. And if I have to, people will bounce off my book if they really love hard magic. If that's their jam, this is going to be not their thing probably. I have an idea in my head of like how things work, so that way like there are limits that I know, and communicating those limits, I feel like I give at a certain point, but realistically, you're only getting the limits that the characters know. You're not getting
Yeah.
like the limits. You're getting the limits
Exactly.
that our characters have taken these things to. And I think you kind of get that idea by the end of book 1 in a lot of ways,
Definitely.
because we start to see other people who have access to magic use it, like you guys were saying, in different ways. And yeah, it's a very, very
experience that. So that's kind of the approach that I'm taking as far as magic goes. Is I actually, it might be a little bit different, but when it comes to my system, it's something that I want to make hard magic to the degree that I know exactly how everything works. It'll just be the difficult part, communicating that in a way that it's soft on the page, so that nobody actually knows exactly what everything is like. They just know and trust that I do know, and therefore I'm not cheating them. But
yeah.
I
think there are obviously some narrative responsibilities that you have as a writer that I try to like stick to my guns with that. I never want my magic to solve my problems. And if there's something that is relatively magical that does come into play in a pivotal moment, it's just about like making sure somebody knows that there's a possibility, like an inkling of a possibility, maybe a sentence here in the first book. Yeah, exactly. Just like using foreshadowing as an effective tool. And then Andrew here asked, yes, we are almost at, I think, 650 total, including the 130 hardcovers that I sold signed. We were close to, on our pre-orders, to 500, just digitally. And then there was several, a lot more hardcovers that were pre-ordered through Amazon. Yes, Jake is too cool to look at the camera. No, you're good, dude.
He's
Don't apologize.
Like my most chaotic work day of the week. And
You're
I'm trying
good.
to multitask.
I'm messing with you. I am grateful you're here. Andrew's just pulling your chain. As long as it doesn't go into exactly, just kind of what we were referencing.
That's exactly what I want to avoid. Readers can trust that you're not doing Deus Ex Machina, that you're not just coming up with some bullshit to get you out of a hole that you wrote yourself into, but without being so overwrought in it that the reader is just reading science.
Yeah.
I
think it's in those moments. I think it's almost like forgetting that it is a magical thing. That is solving
magic is arcane, and arcane definitionally means unknown. So
yeah, exactly.
As Christopher would say, I very much stole that from him, basically. But,
it almost sounded exactly like him when you said it.
This is what I mean when I was talking to you on the stream the other day through text. Very much of my communication mannerisms have been
That's all right.
irreparably shifted by Christopher.
No, you guys have different mannerisms in a lot of ways, though. I don't know. I understand that though. If you communicate enough with somebody, you start like I'll watch a TV show. Like there was
your favorite character.
There was a good time, like maybe 10 years ago, when I watched Parks and Rec twice in a row, and I just sounded like Aziz Ansari's character for like a month. Which is not the character you would want to pick.
Better than John Ralphio, I guess.
Yeah, better than John Ralphio. Yeah, and even then, there was some bleed into John Ralphio, who's one of my favorite characters in all of comedy, in terms of TV shows. What does King look super familiar? King. What was he referencing?
Because you were actually the one that sold me.
Oh, King Crusoe. Sorry.
The Michael J. Sullivan series a couple years ago, so that might be part of it. Andrew,
there you go.
You sold me one of those series like early 2022 or something.
There you go. And he just read Shadows Upon Time. No big deal. That's his flex. So I want to start wrapping up just because we've been at this for a long time. I'm super grateful you guys stopped in. Andrew, I would have shot you a link to come hang out, but I was like, I know we're about to sum it up here. So if you want to come on for the last like 10 minutes here, I can shoot you a link. Just let me know.
We can DNF the stream as soon as he gets in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, that's a great idea. That's so funny.
Just leave him on it only.
Oh, thanks so much, dude. The reviews are starting to pop up on Amazon. It's awesome. It's so cool to see.
That was perfect timing though, because I do have to go as well. So
okay, there we go. I'm okay. Got it, Andrew. Doing dad stuff. I'm just super grateful you guys spent the time. Jake, I know you're working, and I'm super grateful that you spent the time to hop on here. King Crusoe, thanks for coming to the signing on Friday, and then coming on the stream today to hang out. Matt, you made the review. We have a chat coming in the future. Spoiler, I think it's 2 weeks away. What do we say? Me, you, and Ian.
I think next week.
This coming week.
This coming week?
No, following week. Yeah, it's Monday the 28th. We're gonna have a conversation, me, you, and Ian, and then I'm gonna, I'm gonna plan some group convos, Noel, as well. Where on my channel I'll bring people on and we'll talk spoilers. It's a matter of just like organizing the guests, because I think there's a lot that we can get into. If you want, you can hang around as I end the broadcast and we can kind of go into spoilers. Obviously, Skeff and Casey, I know you guys haven't read it, so you might want to dip. But any let's go around actually. Just Casey, shoot some final thoughts. I know you haven't read Mercy, but just generally also let people know where they can find you, and kind of what you're up to.
I'm kind of around at this point. I don't actually have a day job anymore, so at this point I'm expanding a lot of my YouTube stuff. So if you want to find King Crusoe, just as it appears on the screen, or King Crusoe the Second, which is the double I, my 2 channels where I just review a lot of different stuff. You can check me out on those kinds of things. So appreciate you having me on, I guess. And I hope to read the book someday. Trademark.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. That's it. I get it. Go ahead, Noelle. I know that we have a group read with By Blood, by Salt, but let people know what's going on, what you're reading, what's happening.
Well, I have 2 channels, Noelle D, which is mainly novels, and then Noelle of Elbaf, which is mainly manga. And yeah, currently reading Sun Eater, the first book, Empire of Silence. Just finished your book today, and then I've got By Blood, by Salt by J.L. Odom on the docket as well. Buddy reading that with Jake, Chance, and Tom from Tom Orange. So really looking forward to that. And kind of new-ish to the space, but everyone has been so welcoming and kind, and yeah, I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, Ryan, you want to shoot? Go ahead and shoot out your books. Shoot out. You know what? Yeah, shoot it out.
I'm just going to shoot my shot. My name is Ryan Scavington, author of Lost Souls, book 1 in the Infinite Existence series, planned trilogy covering loss, legacy, and what it means to be a good person when the world doesn't want you to be. Take a note from Chance on marketing. I published my novel, then started telling people about it. He started telling people about his novel like 6 months ago and did giveaways and e-arcs and talked about it for many, 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 many months. So don't learn from me, learn from Chance when marketing your first book.
All right. Thank you. Matt, go ahead. Shoot out Hobby Vomit.
Hey, I'm less beautiful sounding Ryan. And new to the YouTube space. We just do movies and books and board games stuff on the channel with friends. Currently reading Mercy, Ill the Fate, or Ill is the Fate.
Yeah, Ill is the Fate. Yeah.
Sorry, cut it. Cut that. Cut
Do it live.
Sorry.
That title's so good too.
Stream, plot twist.
Yeah, so I'm about 25% in for the alpha read. Really enjoying that. I'm also reading Insomnia by Stephen King, which has been good. And then finished up The Devils. Nice. I don't want to hear it, Jake.
Didn't DNF.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see
it.
Nah. Although I do want to say, I think where you DNF'd, I get why that's the spot. Okay. I get it.
That's fair. It wasn't bad. I didn't hate it. I was just like, I want to read something.
Jake hates so many things.
He was. Jake, were you listening? Okay, be honest. Were you listening to comedy podcasts while you were reading The Devils?
Not intentionally. Not by my
group
choice.
Chat is 10 toes down. So
yeah.
You gotta stand 10 toes down on your opinion.
I stand by my opinion. It's not a bad book, right? It was fine. Every time I picked it up, I was like, I just want to read something else.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is fair.
It did get. I think parts 3 and 4 really ramped up, and it ended really, or it's about to end really strong. I'm assuming it's going to end strong. A couple pages away, but yeah. Thanks, Chance. Congrats again. Yeah. Really stoked for the journey.
Yeah, I'm stoked that you're reading the second book, so I can finally start talking to people. You and Slay, I think, are moving pretty quick through it. Slay's almost done, and like I said, I'm going to shoot the alpha readers the prologue, quote unquote prologue. It's the before of book 3. After all that takes place in book 2, I'm actually really excited for you guys to get your hands on that, to experience it. Jake, go ahead and shoot your shot.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
all right, we'll write it there. No kidding.
I was on the road for 3 weeks, so I'm glad to be home and trying to get back into some schedules, and that's why I'm all frantically running around the last couple days. But this is awesome that I was able to get in here at least a little bit and stare at my phone and try to reply to people while you guys talked about cool things. So I appreciate the invite. I'm like everyone has said, I'm so stoked for you, dude. This is awesome and such a huge accomplishment, and like I'm just happy for you. It's awesome and impressed and inspired and all the other good I words.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, it means the world that in this busy time you've been able to come on. I'm going to shout out just the hardcover stuff really quick. This is the Naked hardback. You can't really see the artwork, I think, because of lighting. But that is our Naked hardcover. We got some characters on there. There's 3 art pieces in this. We got a beautiful map. All right, let's show that off real quick while we're here. Probably should have done this in the beginning of both streams. But it's all right.
I hadn't even seen the Naked hardcover yet.
Yeah, and then there's I have a few art pieces in there. Yada yada yada. Good, decent formatting.
One of those.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
And not only is it a pretty book, I think it's pretty good. Heavily inspired by Elden Ring. I think it's pretty good.
Stake in the game at
this
all.
is how you sell books, folks.
Totally unbiased.
Yeah, totally unbiased. Pretty good book. I asked myself, what if Aragorn lost everything after the War for the One Ring, and what if Samwise Gamgee had to kill Frodo in order to save Middle Earth? My inspirations pulled heavy from Elden Ring and Malazan, in that I do not like holding your hand. I like giving you the breadcrumbs, and I like you making the bread out of those dirty breadcrumbs and then cleaning it off to eat it. It's been really fun. We've had Nikhil from Shelf Esteem, Philip Chase on. Who else did we have? Wow. I'm already forgetting.
Alex
from Iskandaria. Yeah, he was here. There
John from
Abel, yeah. John from Talking Story was here. There were people who were supposed to make it who I'm grateful that they even considered it. They stopped in and said hi. But yeah, it's been a great conversation. Good launch day. I'm really looking forward to seeing sort of where we end with all the pre-orders going through and processing and X, Y, and Z. But I don't know. Amazon's really slow right now. It's all good. I'm going to pick up myself. Ryan's books. And I will have these chats with you guys in the future. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. All right, gang.
Bye, everybody.
I'm going to end the broadcast.